Hey folks, Cody here, former student of ETSU's Bluegrass and Old Time Country Music program. Here on this channel, we focus on all things bluegrass, and we're trying to get to more subscribers than Taylor Swift. Why? Because bluegrass music is better than her, so subscribe down below to help out with the cause. But today we are learning an arrangement to the 1834 smash hit Turkey in the Straw. Yes, a tune that's probably been stuck in your head way longer than any doctor recommends. And here's a bonus. Once you learn the first part of this tune, you've secretly learned a second tune, and I'll explain that in just a second. If you go through this lesson and you find it out of your skill level, check out Flatpick Foundations down below. That's my beginner-friendly bluegrass guitar course. It's helping hundreds of students around the world finally learn how to play bluegrass guitar, just like Daniel here, who said just after a few weeks inside the program, he already understands how to play some tunes that he couldn't before. There's a free mini course also down below, so check it all out. Before I get into the lesson, I'm gonna play you a short clip of me practicing this song the other day, and I wanna point out a couple things that I'm trying to improve on and that could also help you out on your bluegrass guitar journey. Let's take a quick look at the video. Okay, first is my wrist. Ideally, it's not as bent as you see it there in the video. Everybody's gonna be different, but ideally I'm holding it straighter, which helps me with my speed and accuracy, something worth considering. And second, the way that I'm holding my pick is just a little messy. It looks like I'm about to drop it. I change how tightly I hold my pick depending on the type of pick I'm using, the thickness and the material. But ideally, I want to have a little bit more control because a cleaner, more consistent attack definitely equals more controlled tone in my experience. This tune follows your typical A-A-B-B fiddle tune pattern, which means there's an A part and there's a B part. The A section will be played twice before moving on to the B part, where it's played twice before going back to the A part, and so on and so forth. Okay, for the first part of the song here, our home bases are on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th frets. Don't move your fingers from there unless told otherwise. We've got a couple pickup notes to start this tune. If we're counting in, we're gonna come in right before the 1 beat on the 4 and. It'll sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, one more time, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, moving along. All right, just playing that melody on the 2nd and the 4th frets of the G string. And then we go back into what I'm going to call that main riff. We're going to play that 4 times in this A part of the tune. And then for measure 7, I'm doing a little bit of cross picking over this position right here. Going into it real slowly. And I've thrown this in other parts of this tune as well. Remember, you're gonna repeat this A part, so you have to play this part twice just to get through that first bit. Okay, now remember what I said earlier, that you're basically learning a second tune if you learn the first part of this song. This melody is really, really close to the tune Do Your Ears Hang Low, or Do Your Ears Hang Low, Do They Wobble To and Fro, especially that main riff there. So that last part you would almost just simplify. Do your ears hang low? Let's listen again to the B part. Okay, for the first couple measures of the B part, which repeats, I'm just playing these two notes. All right. I felt it was kind of turkey-ish, but anytime you see a bar or a measure in the bluegrass world on a tab that only has a couple notes, there's lots of room to fill that space, okay? And what I've got here is basically a G triad, little tidbit of information here. That root note G on our high E string, and then we have a G, a D, and a B, which makes up a G chord. So you could even try cross-picking over that. You could even slide into those two notes on your tab. Really, it's up to you. Remember, if you're inside of the paid course Flatpick Foundations, the thing that I say all the time is don't get glued to the tab. Forgot to mention our home basses are now here. We're working on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th frets. And this part here is just following the melody. You could add more notes into there if you wanted. Just keep that right hand moving, making sure everything sounds nice and even. For this next part, that's what I'm playing, following the melody, to get back to that same position I cross-picked over in the first part of the tune, okay? Watch it. Just like that. One more time, nice and slow. After that, the B part repeats, and I'm playing the exact same thing, only I'm changing the ending lick. Let's listen to it, and then I'll show you how to play it. So I'm using that same series of notes to get to my 4th fret on my G string. That's where I play the lick. Nice and slow. One more time. On your tab in the video there, I started that lick with an upstroke. Not sure why, and it was a decent take, so I kept it, but 99% of the time I play that starting on a downstroke, all right? Point being, you can experiment with all of this. On your screen there, I've got the pick directions. I change it up a little bit here and there, but for the most part, you're trying to keep that down-up picking pattern, that constant flow of notes that make our playing sound full. It sounds nice and bluegrass-like, and it really gives you that acoustic feel that I know a lot of players are chasing after. So do watch your pick direction. But I do hope that you found this lesson helpful. I thought it would be a fitting one, considering that we are getting into holiday mode here. And so I really like Christmas music, and I really like, Thanksgiving and this time of year in general. And so I really wanted to show you guys, hopefully, an accessible and not so difficult version of this song. This tune is notoriously difficult. So if you're sitting there going, wow, I'll never be able to play this, or I went through the lesson and I can't get it, it's taken me several years to play this one confidently. And so just build up to it over time. It won't happen overnight, but with practice, you will get there. And if this is way over your head, if you've just got your GCD chords down and you're really wanting to dive into the world of bluegrass music, check out Flatpick Foundations. Literally hundreds of students there now. We're 13 months into the program. Happy to say that it's working well, and folks in there are really learning how to play this style of music. I think there's a big sort of problem out there that a lot of players that aspire to play bluegrass, they try to learn online or they are looking for a teacher and it's like, this is going to be impossible. It's really not that bad. You have to slow everything down. Understand it does take a while to learn, but once you get the basics, you're off to the races. And so if that sounds like something you're interested in, if you've been wanting to learn, don't know where to start, check it out down below, Flatpick Foundations. I promise you you're going to get value out of it. And if you have any questions, just drop me a line or comment down below. I'm happy to answer. And I hope you guys have great, safe holidays this year. And yeah, hopefully doing a lot of picking next year. So we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.